Howdy and welcome to another Tech Doctor TV. We've got a short one today, just about a new keyboard that I bought because my old one decided to die, specifically the E wore out. I don't know why, but it did. So I am a bit of a fan of RGB keyboards because I just like bright shiny things, so I thought I'd go on the hunt. And I found a pretty cool one which I want to share with you today. It's a fairly new one to the market. It's an MSI Vigor GK71 Sonic. Bit of a mouthful. MSI aren't really well known for keyboards, but I do like MSI as a brand. They seem to have pretty good quality stuff. I mean, my monitor here, that's new, 32-inch curve MSI, 170 hertz, very good. And the experience I've had with their motherboards and cards and laptops, what have you, have always been pretty solid, and they've been around for a while. They used to be known as MicroStar International way back before they went to MSI. Anyway, I've already taken it out of the box because I needed it, but I can still run through kind of an unboxing, but you can see it sitting there on my desk. But it's more about, obviously what it looks like is cool, but how it performs. So we'll get into that in a sec. Just show you the box. Like it's a decent quality box. I mean, the box is a box really, but it was packed nicely. It had a nice black on black style boxing cover with a bag and some nice foam inserts. Again, there's not much in a keyboard box. One thing they do include, apart from the instruction book, which is not much, they do give you a key pulling tool, which, if you can see that, get the light to not shine on it. There we go, to rip them off and change them if you want. If that's your bag, baby. I'm not a big key cap changer personally. Pop that over there, out the way. So, first impressions are made very nicely. It comes with its own little squidgy wrist rest, and that's like memory foam type thing. It's not attachable. Some little magnets would have been a nice touch just to go pop it into place, but it's not a deal breaker. I'm trying out using it. I've never really used one of them because I'm palms on the desk typer. That's probably better to avoid things like RSI or carpal tunnel or whatever. But if you don't need it, just put it to the side. But the keyboard itself, it's quite, even though it's full size, it's fairly compact, which I like. And this apparently, they say this is aluminium on top. It does feel a bit plasticky, I have to say, and doesn't have that aluminium ding sort of noise. So I can't really confirm that. I mean, it's got a bit of weight, so maybe. But then again, that may be a previous iteration of it. But either way, it's sturdy. There's no flex or anything in it, and you can see the keys. They're actually clear keycaps with the black on top. So it kind of looks like. Reminds me of that top deck chocolate. I can't remember if it was milk chocolate on the bottom or white chocolate on the top or vice versa, but it's kind of like that. So there's a different definition, but that really makes the RGB pop, and if that's what you're after, I would almost guarantee that this is the brightest RGB keyboard on the market. I mean, you can see, and this isn't a lit room, how well that's going. What else? It's got the little footsies on the back, if you want to elevate it, and they're pretty solid too, with a nice rubber footing. So if you don't have a mat, it's not going to slip and slide all over the place. It does have some cable routing. I haven't quite figured that out, to be honest. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I suppose if you had your mouse in front of you, you could just run your cord under your keyboard, and it doesn't interfere with how the keyboard sits. So if you're a front mouser, perhaps, but otherwise I don't see a lot of point. but nice rubber feet to hold it in place, which is really good. So I'm just going to open up a Word document so you can see some key effects. So you can see, like, obviously it's all, you know, whirlpooly and spirally and bright, but as you type, you can see the white, you know, it's reactive to where you type. White spews out everywhere, which is really cool. That's the default configuration. I played around with the other ones, and yeah, they're all right. But that's my favourite, particularly if you want the brightest possible setting you can have. That's the way to go. Just leave it at default. As for the mechanical feedback, it is a bit different to what mechanical keyboards you might be used to. Like, this is the previous one I had. That was just a Cougar, which lasts a surprisingly long time. It lasted about 4 years, which is pretty cool. But I don't know if you can hear that. It's got a definite click, the clicky click. This one does not. It is mechanical, but it's what they call a, where is it? MSI Sonic Red switches. So it's not your traditional red key switch, but they are designed with quite a light travel and feedback. I'll get to that in a sec. But if you can listen, it's more of a funky. It's kind of like almost old school mechanical, where you don't have that real clicky feedback. And I will admit, at first I thought, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but after using it for even half a day, I think it's fine. In fact, I read somewhere else someone describing, if you want a keyboard for fast typing, this is the go-to, and it's right. It took a couple of sessions with it to realign my fingers, because I'm not a touch typist as such. My little finger sits over here as like a guide, and then I just type away, and it's sort of it's kind of touchy, but it's not accurate. You know, I wouldn't call myself a typist, but I was able to belt out stuff far quicker on this than on the previous one, and the traveling of the key is really, it's really light. You don't have to push it all the way down. I mean, I'm pushing that maybe a third of the way down. You've got some nice spring feedback, but you can bash. So initially you'll make typos, and you make a lot of them. You'll have extra letter strikes, but you will adapt very quickly. So as far as typing, I'm really enjoying it now. So it's got a good feel to it. The other thing I really like about it is your multimedia keys up here. You've got a volume slider and just your standard keys. However, one little disappointment, like, you've got the knob, you can scroll it, your volume knob on the side there, or on the top, whichever you like. This mechanism, or the way it rolls, it's a little bit grating. Like, it feels like I don't know, it should, if you think of a skateboard wheel with dirty bearings, and you think that's not how it should go at all, that's kind of how it feels. It's got a lot of drag on it. However, after a few days, it seems to be loosening up a little bit. So that may just be because it's so new, you've got to break it in. So it does feel to be getting better. I would like it to be a bit smoother than what it is, but it's certainly a welcome feature to have it back. I hope that really didn't screw with the the volume output, but anyway, we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of all there is to it. It's solid. It's got great lighting. The software, MSI software has let me down in the past, I will say, to the point of wanting to throw something across the room, and I probably did. But I will find it. I've installed it. Maybe it's already there. Yeah, MSI Center. So once you plug it in, this is Windows 11. Windows seems to recognize that it's an MSI board plugged in, and it just downloads the software. What you do have to do is you have to then download Mystic Light, because it won't control the keyboard on the MSI Center base software. So just make sure you get the Mystic Light as well, and then you can go into your profiles, There we go. So you've got, it comes up there, and you can, this is called overlap, this thing. Yeah, so it's fairly intuitive, fairly straightforward. You can set a few different profiles, and Mystic Light settings. If you've got other RGBs, MSI, say if you've got an MSI motherboard, yeah, you control it from there. But it doesn't seem to bugger up anything else, which is all right. Other than that, that's about it. So I'm very happy with this. I think it's a great effort from MSI. I would recommend it, particularly if you want something you can type fast on. This is it. I haven't tried it with gaming yet, but I don't foresee any issues. It's got the nice feedback, so I'm pretty happy there. Appearance, can't fault it. My only gripe, as I said, is that little wheel, which does feel like it's loosening up over time. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be fine. But I'd give it a solid, I reckon, 9 out of 10. I think this will be with me for a while. Price-wise, sort of mid-range. I've seen some pretty hefty mechanical RGB keyboards going for, now we're talking Australian dollars here, so don't freak out if you're not from Australia. 300, 350, which is getting to the insane territory if you ask me. This was 220 Australian. So whatever that translates to, say in US, I guess would be about maybe, I don't know, 130, more or less. I don't know the conversion. But they're 220 Australian, which is a pretty reasonable price for a good quality RGB keyboard. So in short, I would recommend it. I'd say it's a very good keyboard. I'm going to be happy with it. So I can recommend it for sure. Availability seems to be pretty good because it's new in the market. So just have a look around, the usual suspects. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with it. Nice braided keyboard cord, I should mention as well. So it's not going to, that should sort of, once the kinks settle down, it'll just sit there out of the way. But that's about it. As I said, I'll keep using that. Thanks for watching again. If you've got any questions about it, just chuck them on down. If anything major changes in my course of using it, I'll update. But I think we're pretty sweet there. So yeah, only a short one today. So as I said, the MSI GK71 Sonic, or the Vigor, and it's a good investment if you ask me. So thanks for watching, and next time, who knows what we'll have. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'll catch you then. Thanks. See ya.